Hey guys, this is pretty wacky. Check this out. The lone druid is repeatedly stacking this hard camp here. I'm not sure if he's stacking this easy one yet, but and then he's stacking this one with his bear, with his summon. So he's like, as I said, he's like yeah, it's like his main purpose apparently is just stacking guys. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's pulling the lane creeps over to this camp to take it out. Is what he's doing for his experience. Probably isn't all that much experience, but better than nothing. Anyway, so I mean, he's definitely gonna be underleveled, as if, you know, he was doing all kinds of dumb things that he could be doing. But this is really interesting. I don't know if it's dumb or not. Might be really good. But I mean, definitely if you pro lone druid and you, like take down towers early like me, it's not really something you want to do. But like if you're like, hey, I want to make Lone Druid, do something a little bit different than the way other people play him, including even me, then you might try this, because only this Chinese guy with Flame in his name is using this strategy as far as I know so far, because I'm just watching this live and noticing how strange it is, and I haven't ever seen it before. I mean, I've seen people do lots of crazy juggling stuff, and maybe this definitely has been done before, but I just haven't noticed it because I haven't seen any of the games where they were doing this. But well, here's one now, and I'm watching it, and look how big these camps are getting. So I guess we're just gonna make a really big long video just watching this live and see what happens. So we've got this Tinker. People were theorizing that he was stacking it for the Tinker, so he runs his March of the Machines and wipes out all the creeps with all these machines. Now that's definitely an option. I guess in theory, the Lone Druid could also get a Battle Fury or even a Radiance to take all that stuff out too, but probably not the best idea. In fact, I don't think Radiance works on these guys, but whatever. Anyway, Battle Fury definitely would, but I mean, if he's cutting down his farm by just only taking down this weak camp every minute, that's really not enough farm for him to farm up a Battle Fury in any acceptable amount of time. Somebody would steal it, especially with this event on the opponent's team. Even a Skeleton King, he can totally steal that. And Magnus. Heck, even Templar Assassin might be able to steal that, I'm not too sure. So, I mean, this is pretty risky. You've got a guy been missing, and they could just assume he's in the jungle, but if they put up a ward or two in here, which they don't really have, they just have some traps, and they could see that, indeed, he is not taking these regular creep camps that you would normally expect the Lone Druid to be doing right now. But all they really have to do is pull up the scoreboard and look at his level, only level 4. So it's like whatever jungling method he's using, it's not helping him level up very fast. They would know that. They would have to know that either he's really bad or something very suspicious is up. And they could at least check the ancients and see what's going on over there. But, now they did lay a trap here at some point, so they must know what's up. Like, anytime that he sends the summon back there, that trap should notice that summon. Let's see what happens. Looks like he's heading back. Yeah, he's like practically standing right on top of the trap. So they should definitely be able to see that. And, so they should know what's up. And they should be preparing to steal those ancients. So we'll see how this goes. It may backfire on them. And they're already doing kind of poorly. They got 0-3 and a 0-3, a 1 and 2. And the other guys just haven't been doing anything yet, which is him and Tinker. And it actually looks like Tinker is gearing up and he's taking out these ancients. So Sven didn't come along, Skeleton King didn't come along. They didn't come along to steal these yet. And Tinker's killed some of them, maybe? He's definitely weakened a lot of them. Yeah, I think he's killed some of them. Because I'm pretty sure there were more than that, but anyway. It's rich Tinker, I guess, now, sort of. Huh? From ancients, anyway. But then he's still got these to kill, too. We'll see if that We'll boost him enough. Ooh, here comes Templar. She's like, oh, well, we're not gonna let Tinker have all the rest of these. I'm gonna finish these off. Or at least try to. Well, she killed one or two, and now Tinker's here, working on him. Looks like Tinker got all of those. Now there's one more left. Did you see the orange number? That means Tinker got it. Ooh, she got that last one. So anyways, maybe she stole a little. I would have expected more. You know, considering they had a Savan and a Skeleton King, they could have totally been stealing some too. Even a Magnus. They had 4 good stealers and only one of them came over. That's pretty lame. I mean, she's probably like the worst type of stealer to actually have come over. Especially with those March machines kind of rips her up, I think. But whatever. She still made the effort. Nobody else did. That was kind of foolish of them. Anyway. There's still this camp, but they probably haven't wised up to it yet. Which is also a mistake, I feel like. Why would a lone druid be only that level? Like, why would he only just be stacking that camp? It would just seem so pointless. But, maybe they figure, you know, he's not that good of a player, so that's why he's such low level. But nobody even was bothering to kill him. So, but they weren't really keeping an eye on him, so they didn't really know for sure what was up. But here Magnus is coming along. Maybe he is trying to see. Oh, but it's too late now. Tinker's already killed some of them. Oh, but Magnus got a few, so that's good. But then he dies for his effort. And ultimately, Templar did die up over here earlier. So, overall, this strategy, they noticed Tinker was gone, and they were like, hey, what's up with Tinker? And they followed him around. They should have been following around Lone Druid, wondering what the hell was he doing. But they weren't. And that's what I find to be a problem in matchmaking nowadays. People just assume that it's jungler, it's just going to be a dummy jungler and not do anything intelligent. But that's not the case. You shouldn't just leave them alone. You need to try to figure out what are they doing. Because you never know what items they're going to buy, how fast they're going to be jungling up. Some newbies are pretty slow jungling, and better players are much faster. So, it's good to keep an eye on your opponents. Try to figure out who are the good players, who are the bad players. Who do you gotta fear the most, pretty much, I guess. Because that could definitely help you to win, because you can make yourself focus on the better players in order to defeat them. Or on the bad ones, you know, if you're interested in, you know, just getting hero gold and experience from destroying the heroes. But, you know, again and again. But that isn't necessarily fearing them, it's more like being greedy, I guess you could say, perhaps. Or just being practical and or efficient in, you know, gold acquisition or whatever. But Dire hasn't lost a single tower yet, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that this lone druid was just having his nose in the jungle this whole time. Some lone druids, that's how they play it, they just stick their nose in the jungle. This guy's just sticking his nose in the jungle a different way. And I thought it was just interesting enough that I might as well record it. See what happens because of it. So far, I mean, the lone druid, what items does he have? He has a tranquil boot, which is a good item. He's got a bunch of other junk. So he's really pretty far behind. I mean, this is like almost, it's barely 1,000 gold. It's like 1,025 gold or so for this item. You'd have better stuff than that. How much does it cost again? No, they lowered the cost, right? So it's only 975 gold for tranquil boots. And he's saving up his gold for I don't know what, but I would be buying into phase boots by now. And he should already have these actually if he wasn't buying all this other junk. But anyways, He's pretty far behind. And how's Slark doing? Wasn't he soloing top? I think so. Not sure. But anyways, he's level 10, which is not bad. He's got his nuke maxed out, which is fine. His pounce, which I don't think they fixed his bugs yet. They did release a patch, but I don't know what happened. I'll have to watch him a little bit more closely and find out. But if they didn't fix the pounce bugs, which I'm pretty sure if they did fix some of them, they only fixed some of them, not all of them. But I would recommend for the time being to max out your shift over your pounce, just because the pounce is not reliable compared to essence shift. But I mean, that's going to change over time. Over time it'll be, you can max whatever skill over whatever skill depending on the situation. But now you're kind of, it would be silly to max out pounce because it's so unreliable because of the bugs. Now we got these guys moving up, and Magnus is chasing down Slark, and Magnus is pretty much out of mana. Now he's gonna probably pop his mana boots. Oh, he's got a gem. So he's chasing down Slark with the intent of killing him, and it looks like he did so somehow. But like, his whole team was there practically. They're like, the only guy that wasn't there was Skeleton King. So of course they were gonna get him. But this is one problem that I run into sometimes on Slark. It's like the whole team's coming after me. But I've got so much practice with them that I've learned how to be able to survive with Slark. Even when like the whole team's chasing you. And sometimes it's harder than others. But definitely when they have a gem, that's one of those hard times, that's for sure. Now, what's this Tinker up to? He's moving up to top lane, throwing out robots. He's got a 4-staff, soul ring bottle, branches. I think he's pretty much got his core set up. What he needs to work on now, I would say, is some kind of good item that helps him fight better. And I would have to go with Scythe of Ice would be a great option. Because then he could snipe one guy effectively. He wouldn't be able to snipe him very fast, maybe. But he'd still be able to snipe him, take him out of any team fight that his team would happen to make happen. So his team would come and fight the enemies, and they'd be down a guy, right? And he could just keep on doing that, and they could keep winning team fights. I would get that Scythe because you just turn your opponent into a little piggy, and you just keep attacking him with your spells and your right clicks and stuff, and you won't be able to do anything. Because although it does have a duration and a cooldown that is fair, Tinker has his ultimate that makes the Scythe unfair. So you refresh the cooldown and use it again before the duration is up, so they're permanent piggy. As long as you got the mana, you keep using your ultimate rearm. You can rearm your Scythe and keep using it on the hero to turn him into a piggy before he's able to stop being a piggy. So, I mean, when he's a little piggy, he can't really do anything except move around a little bit. That's all he can really do. He can't attack, he can't cast spells or anything, so. Now we got, ooh, Tinker is ganked. So, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing in the jungle. Actually, I have no idea. He shouldn't have been there. He should have been in the lanes. Maybe he was scared of these guys and wanted to go bottom. Maybe went from middle over here when he really didn't need to. He could have teleported with his boots. He was saving his teleportation for no good reason, perhaps. But anyway, I'm just speculating. I don't really know what happened. So anyway, Magnus has a blink dagger, so he's able to teleport over here and then push Slark away from the defense of his own tower. It's not bad. But what happened to Slark? He's still alive? Oh, was that Tinker? Killed Tinker that way? It seems so. Whoever it was, he brought them away from the defense of their own tower and into the arms of his enemy, of his fellow ally, fellow warrior, whatever you call him. So, how's Lone Druid doing now? It's level 9. My levels will be at 12, 12, 12, 14, 14. How about his allies? 13. Ooh. So that's less than the other guy's top guys. So he stacked 4 Tinker's sake, but Tinker is not even higher level than all the opponents. Doesn't seem like such a good strategy to me. If that's what the goal was, to make Tinker the best hero in the game, it's not working. Slark, he's only level 11. Invoker 10, Alchemist 9. So Alchemist is actually tied with Druid. Now, I don't know what happened to Alchemist, but he's 050. And I can pretty much guarantee that if Lone Druid hadn't been sticking his nose in the jungle, he could have been helping Alchemist out, and both of their scores would be a whole lot better. So I would have to say thumbs down on this strategy. It's interesting and unusual, but I mean, you could play Lone Druid way better than that. Just watch my games. I'm pretty good Lone Druid. Like not every game is a shining example of, you know, brilliance or anything, but I definitely play him a lot more traditionally and not just some gimmick that is not really effective. Like Magnus stole some of those, and he wasn't even keen on what was going on. And then Templar stole at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 ancients. If they had really been on their game and noticing what was going on, and not underestimating how easily it would have been for Tinker to kill some ancients, they could have been all over them. I mean, she had her trap there, she could see the bear. The Skeleton King totally could have come along and stole some stuff. But see, now he's stealing stuff now, but I mean, he could have been doing that earlier. But anyways, they didn't really need to. It wasn't that big of a deal because they had such great lane control from Lone Druid not even being in the lane. And that's the mistake that people make with Lone Druid. They just stick his nose in the lane and they think that everything's going to be okay that way. They may stick his nose in the jungle instead of in the lane. But that's not the way you play Dota. This isn't League of Legends. You're not supposed to have like a jungling hero every game. And jungling is fine, but like a lot of people will do like 2 guys up here maybe, and one guy will kind of focus on laning, and another guy will just he'll be jungling just like this one camp for a while. And that's totally fine. Just minimize the amount you jungle. You know, they maybe pull the golems up to here because golems are too strong, let the lane creeps beat on the golems for them. That's totally fine. In the case of Lone Druid, you've got your summon, so it can tank for you, so you don't necessarily need the lane creeps. But you don't just like stay in the jungle. Maybe take one camp out and then move back to the lane. Go back and forth, back and forth. Of course you don't want to stay in the lane like all game or stay in the jungle all game, but try to show some balance and go back and forth. Go where you're needed. Is a pretty important thing to learn for a lot of players. Like sometimes a player will just stay middle when their allies want them to gank. Of course you don't want to let the other guy free farm. So you don't want to just leave and then not be able to destroy an enemy hero and then feel like all that time is wasted. So what you're supposed to do is you tell your ally, hey, I want to leave. You want to come take over for me? So like guy from top maybe will come to middle, and as he's coming you leave maybe and then go to bottom, maybe grab the rune or something, and then attack the guys at bottom. Or do it whichever way you're going to do it. But the point is let somebody take over at middle, because somebody's needed there in order to keep the other guy from just, you know, taking every last hit on the creeps and getting too much gold. You don't want that to happen. So, I mean, you can't do that kind of thing when you just stick your nose in the jungle and you're always there. I mean, that's just like the basic of the basics, man. I could go on and on about what could be happening in the side lane and what should be happening in the side lane, but the point is that no matter what lane we're talking about, something has to be getting done. And if one team member is just in the jungle all game long, it's going to be more difficult for those things that need to be getting done for them to actually get done. So just keep that in mind when you want to try some kind of gimmicky strategies. Just make sure that it's going to work out. I never really think this is a really dumb idea, but yeah, and I think I would know because I like Lone Druid and I play him very well. But it's an interesting idea. And we're not saying that it's impossible to improve on it, but it would be at least very hard to. I mean, I'm not saying that this isn't his first time doing it or anything, but I think he had to have thought about how ancient stacking works in the first place. And usually people would use a Helm of the Dominator to grab a creep from the jungle anywhere and have it come to the ancient camp and pull the ancients away. So what he was doing was using his free summon to do that. So in other words, in his mind, this was a better way of doing the Helm of the Dominator creep pulling thing. Okay, letting that slide, why didn't he just use his regular hero normally in the lane? Maybe it took too much concentration for him to think about doing that, I don't know. But he could have been doing something like that, but he wasn't. He just figured, oh, I'm going to stack these camp too, which isn't necessarily wrong, but first of all, I have to question using the bear in that way in the first place. Now, Helm of the Dominator, you usually get it for the lifesteal. So the creep, it's a bonus. I could totally see you figuring, yeah, it's my decision what I want to do with the bonus feature of this item. So if you don't approve of it, then, you know, tough for you. I mean, that's the way I'm doing it, and you know, whatever. Who are you to judge me, right? But I think I have the right to judge people about how they're going to use their summon when they're Lone Druid, because I'm a really good Lone Druid player. I'm not saying, you know, I'm an awesome Helm of the Dominator player, so I'm not going to tell you, you know, how to use your Helm of the Dominator, but when it comes to Lone Druid, that's definitely not the way you're supposed to use your summon. He's got, like, how many abilities does he have? He's got one that summons his bear, one that makes him and his bear faster, another one that makes him and his bear faster and do more damage, but it also makes him have more health, which is nice. And improves this other ability, which is great, whatever. So, and then there's Battle Cry, which is only accessible using his ultimate. His ultimate just transforms him from ranged to melee. Now, here's the thing. Your summon's got abilities of his own. He's got Return, so it teleports him to the location of your hero. And Entangling Claws, and Demolish. Now, Entangling Claws is like one of the best abilities that this hero has at his disposal, and it's only accessible through this Spirit Bear summon. So if you're sending this guy off over to fight these things, make them chase you, whatever, so that way your Tinker or whoever can clear them, you're not using your Entangling Claws. That's the issue I have with this strategy, because Entangling Claws is a really good ability. Not only that, but you're not really using Demolish either. Look at this, they only got one tower this whole game. That's really bad. Like, typically, like if I'm doing well, at level 6, I've got a tower. It's down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Or wait, no. I mean level 7, my bad. When I'm level 7, that's what I meant to say. Because that's when you get your demolish on your bear. And level 6 is when you have your battle cry. So you combine your battle cry with your demolish, and you should be able to take it down. You know, you'll have max synergy by then. So your bear will be doing bonus 40 damage. So that 40 damage plus this battle cry is another 20. So that plus 60 damage on the bear. Plus you should maybe have a phase boost. It's another 24 damage. So we're talking 84 damage bonus on your bear into the demolish ability. And what does the demolish do? It says bonus building damage 40%. So you basically turn your 80 damage or whatever, it changes from 80 to like 30 or so, something like that. I mean, you know, 30 plus, so 110 or so, whatever. Point being, it's stronger than if it was just that 80 or whatever. And that's not even counting his base damage. What is it? It's like 73 or so, maybe. Anyway, maybe I got the math wrong. Maybe it's just 40. But the point is, this demolish will be doing more damage to the buildings, and he's not using demolish at all if it's just running back and forth. In fact, he didn't even get to level 7 at all because he wasn't using his hero in lane at least. So you got to think about things you're going to do. Are they the right thing to do or not? And you know, they actually have heroes that are really reliant on mobility here. Get 2 guys with blink daggers, another guy with a blink dagger. Okay, we got 3 blink daggers, guy with Mask of Madness, for crying out loud, and on the same hero he has this ability that gives bonus movement speed to him and his allies. Now, what's wrong with this picture for Lone Druid? For all these mobile heroes, even this guy decided to go ahead and buy an item that makes him more mobile. Shadow Blade. It makes him go invisible and increases his movement speed. But what was Lone Druid doing? He wasn't using Entangling Claws. It says, attacks have a chance to cause roots to burst from the ground, immobilizing the attacked enemy unit and dealing damage per second. You see that? Immobilizing the attacked enemy unit. So every 5th attack, it says entangle chance 20%. Every 5th attack, for 3 full seconds, one of these heroes could be getting entangled by this bear. But it's not even attacking them. He's just struggling with keeping the creeps at bay. Because his strategy flopped in his face. If he actually knew what he was doing, he would have been using that summon to ensnare these heroes and disrupting their ability to do just about anything, really. Because you can't really do much when you don't got your feet, right? And those entangling claws really messed them up and make it so they can't move around, right? Well, when I played Lone Druid, that's true. In this game, he didn't really do much of anything because he wasn't using this summon properly. So I really would have to say thumbs down on this strategy.